Kirsten, welcome to my book nook. Today I've got my wrap up for July, just what I read, and I've dropped my microphone. There, hopefully that's a bit better. So the first one is Children of Blood and Bone by Toby Adeyemi, which I've lent to someone, so here's the picture. And this is a Nigerian fantasy. It's written in response to police brutality against African Americans, so it's quite dark. I didn't realise that when I read it, and I think knowing that context, oh there's Ninja, hi Ninja, knowing that context would have made it more enjoyable for me. I found it a reasonably good book, but very slow, and I found it quite a slog to get through actually, and I don't know why. It was a fairly standard fantasy journey to find yourself and save the world, kind of, you know, the thing. There was nothing wrong with it. I just, for some reason, found it really slow. The second, Lost Objects by Marianne Womack, which is a book of short stories about environmental disasters. I've talked about it on the channel before. It's really beautiful, the writing is beautiful, her characterisation is spot on, absolutely perfect, and I would utterly recommend this if you're into weird fiction at all. Little Princess by Frances Hodgson Burnett, which is a complete change of pace. It's a children's book, Edwardian, about a girl who goes to a boarding school, a little rich girl who suddenly finds that she's actually poor and her father's died, and she has to navigate life on her own with no money, and then of course it all comes right at the end. I really love this book. I was rereading because I wanted to remember one of the aspects of the book is that her father has poor health, and I couldn't remember whether it was poor physical health or poor mental health or both, and it turns out it's both. But this is an excellent book if you like Edwardian children's books. And this is not Edwardian, it's modern, Kindred Spirits by Rainbow Rowell. It's a World Book Day book, so these are the ones which cost £1 on World Book Day or near about, which means they're aimed at a slightly younger audience maybe than her normal readers. I'm not quite sure. It's about being in the queue for a Star Wars film, and there's 3 of them, and it's their bonding over their love of Star Wars. So it's a really good book, and I see Judith looking really interested. You want it?
Yeah. I was just thinking, why Star Wars?
Why Star Wars? Because people love Star Wars.
That makes sense.
Okay, the next one, The Girl in the Green Silk Gown by Shauna Maguire. It's got pomegranates and Greek temples. This is the second book in the Ghost Road series, the follow-up to Sparrow Hill Road. It ties into her Encrypted series, and it's really lovely. It's about this girl, Rose, who is a hitchhiker, hence the little bum, and who gets ripped out of her home and needs to make her way back there while saving her friends on the way. The twist is that Rose is a ghost. Or is she? Yes, she's definitely a ghost. And it's really lovely. If you like ghost stories at all, this isn't scary, it's quite sweet, but definitely pick them up. Start with Sparrow Hill Road, and Rose is a lovely character. This one, I'm not sure what I think about this one. All of this is true. It was quite a fast read, but nothing really happened. Like, it was obvious that the protagonist was just a piece of work right from the beginning. She's written a book about the real life happenings of her characters. There wasn't really a twist, we're told all that up front. It becomes apparent what her characters have done and seen very early on, and it's just about how when she puts it in public it all goes horribly wrong and one of them gets attacked. But they're all these little spoiled little rich girls and one quiet boy, and I think we're meant to not really get the measure of him, but he's fairly easy to get the measure of, to be honest. and this horrible, horrible protagonist who we never actually see because she planted a bomb and run away. If that sounds like your kind of thing, I'd definitely pick it up. It's quite interestingly written, with interviews and excerpts from the book, the fictional book. It's just a little bit under-exciting while still being completely gripping. So that's that. And the last book, which I actually haven't finished yet, but I will have finished by the end of the month, and by the time you watch this, is Bedlam Stacks by Natasha Pulley. I really loved her first book, The Watchmaker of Filigree Street. This one also has clockwork and lanterns. It's about going to Peru to find quinine trees, which I didn't even know quinine grew on trees, but there you go. It's about going to Peru to find quinine trees and instead finding a whole other culture that's odd yet somehow familiar to our protagonist, and bringing back the quinine for all the people who have malaria and can't be fixed. It's got very interesting relationships, especially between the three main characters, but also between their loved ones at home, and it's got a very interesting world building. And if you're at all interested in fantasy, I highly recommend both this one and The Watchmaker of Filigree Street, which was utterly beautiful, and it had Gilbert and Sullivan and clockwork octopuses and Japanese time travellers and basically everything you can want in a book. Is that not everything you can want in a book? It is, right? So this one, just as good, I think, actually. It's less easy to summarise in a way that makes you go, yes, I need to read that book immediately, but it's very lovely. And now I am on to my newts, and I will see you soon with a newt update, in which I'm hoping to read somewhere between 7 and 12 books in the month of August, and I will let you know how that goes. Good luck to you if you're also doing this. Good luck for Booktubeathon, and I'll see you soon. Bye.